Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Welcome. My name's Jerry Bongelli. I'm one of the volunteers here at the National Museum of the United States Air Force, and it's a pleasure and honor to have you all come out today. Thank you so much. At this time, though, I'm going to remind you, please turn off that mobile device. For those of you of my generation, that includes your beeper. All right. This morning, as we enter Memorial Day weekend, and we pause to honor those who have dedicated their life in serving our great nation, at this time, please stand for the presentation of colors by the Wright-Patterson Air Force Base Honor Guard and the singing of our national anthem by Tech Sergeant DeWitt, which is behind me.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you so much. Please be seated. I would like to thank all of the Air Force community leaders who have joined us today, and a special thank you to Mr. David Tillotson, the National Museum of the United States Air Force Director. Today's ceremony, hosted by the Air Force Museum Foundation, the philanthropic corporation that funds facility expansions, program support for the National Museum of the United States Air Force. Representing the foundations are Dr. Rorie Cartier and Mr. Chris Atkins Lamb, Chief Development Officer of the Air Force Museum. We appreciate the support, by the way, of Ed Smith Flowers and Gifts for the donation of the flowers used in today's ceremony. Following the ceremony, guests will be encouraged to go outside and to place a flower on the Wall of Honor. And finally, on this Memorial Day weekend, we extend a very special thank you to my fellow veterans and who have joined us today for this event this morning. Thank you all for coming out. At this time, I would like to invite Dr. Reverend Dr. Brian McGuire from Fairmount Presbyterian Church to come forward to deliver the invocation.
Thank you. And I'm so pleased and proud to be a member of and supporter of the Air Force Museum Foundation. Let us pray. Gracious and loving God, we ask you to bless this assembly as together we share in gratitude and thanksgiving for the faithfulness, the labor, the love, and the generosity of all those who have shared in building up this institution. We ask you to bless them and to bless the work of the Air Force Museum as it seeks to steward the memories, the ongoing service, the labor, the love, the dedication, the shared sacrifice that has helped build up our country and build up the United States Air Force. We ask you, especially this weekend, that we might honor and remember the shared sacrifice of generations who've gone before us, especially those who gave their last full measure of devotion, so that their love, their sacrifices, may yet inspire generations yet to come. Bless this, our gathering. Bless the work of this museum, and bless all those who share in it. All these things we do pray. Amen.
Thank you so much. I really do appreciate that, Dr. McGuire. I would like at this moment to invite anyone in attendance whose name on the wall to stand and be recognized at this time. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your service to the country, your dedication to the National Museum of the United States Air Force. All the men and women representing on the wall are amazing, and they truly embody the Air Force's core values of integrity first, service before self, and excellence in all we do. Thank you all again. The world is a better place because of your presence and the presence of many others. As you may know, this is our first in-person ceremony since the pandemic. In today's program, we will find names of individuals and organizations who were added to the wall of honor since 2019. We will honor all plates today, and we will want to focus on the 475 honorees who waited patiently for this day. But we also want to say thank you to the friends and family of Mr. Richard Hill from Huntsville, Alabama, who traveled here, and their data plate is not yet on the wall. Thank you for coming out and continuing this great honor. We appreciate it very much. Our first speaker is the director, Mr. David Tillotson III, director of the National Museum of the United States Air Force. And for all of us volunteers in the room, just to remind you, Museum 1 is about to step on the stage.
Well, thank you, Jerry, and welcome to everybody for being here. You know, this is not a Air Force Museum activity. It's not even an Air Force Museum Foundation activity. This is recognition of folks that you choose to recognize who, in many cases, served in the Air Force at various points in their career, may still be alive. In some cases, they've passed, and in other cases, have done something to support the United States Air Force even if they were not. So this is an Air Force recognition. We run this museum on behalf of the larger institution. So I do want to take the time to recognize that and make that statement that this is about the broader Air Force community. I'm always pleased when I look at the names on the legacy wall about the diversity of contribution that's recognized out there, because this is really a choice made by an individual or a family to say, I would like to recognize my family member or somebody I knew I served with or some organization that contributed. So the recognition ranges from Airman John Antolozzi, who flew WB-50s in Japan, which is weather reconnaissance, then RB-50s, which is photo reconnaissance, and finished service in a C-130E air-sea rescue mission in Thailand. An airman who served but contributed in every aspect of his mission. It recognizes 3 of our volunteers this year since the last time it was up here, all of whom were recognized as a Volunteer of the Year at the Air Force Museum. Mr. J.P. Clark, Mr. Joe Mattis, and Mr. Barry Colano, the last of whom unfortunately has passed, but he was certainly well recognized. It recognizes artists who are part of the Air Force art program. Mr. Harry Kopic, who did a number of significant aviation art pieces, which are in collections across the United States. In fact, there's one actually just outside my office that's nicely well done. And then there are some who are truly spectacular contributors, not just to the Air Force, but to the broader society. And it's always a pleasure to recognize those. And in this case, it's Lieutenant Colonel United States retired Alton Yates. Colonel Yates, as an airman, joined the newly integrated United States Air Force. He's an African American. Joined the newly integrated United States Air Force and volunteered to go to Holloman, New Mexico and ride high-speed sled tests and fly high-altitude missions testing space equipment, talking to go to 80,000 feet, at a time when these things were all unknown. So he had the courage to face the unknown and set standards that served us well in our high-altitude research programs later, such as the U-2 and the SR-71, and also the space program. But perhaps more strikingly, he had the courage to face the known challenges back in his hometown of Jacksonville, Mississippi, as a member of the NAACP youth organization that took on the questions of integration in a society that had not yet moved towards full integration. So although the Air Force was fully integrated, and I won't tell you that went smoothly, and nor will Colonel Yates tell you that that went smoothly in his first years. We know this because we've interviewed him before, so he's been very gracious. But even worse, if you were back in your hometown, the conditions could be much more substantially worse, and he did put up with substantially worse and persevered throughout. So both a contributor to the Air Force, but more importantly, a contributor to the nation, and somebody who's here personally and will be recognized today. So thank you to all of you, all who contributed at all levels of the Air Force in all aspects, and we're honored to have all of you and your family members here today for recognition. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you coming out today. Thank you so much. We have another guest, another speaker today. Very important young man, I have to admit. Him and I have discussions all the time about Louisiana and the great state of New Orleans and all of the things that we love down that way. Dr. Rorie Cartier, the CEO of the Air Force Museum Foundation. Please welcome him.
Good morning or afternoon. We're right in that sweet spot, so you can pick which one you want. I'm a morning person, so I'm going to stick with morning now. But ladies and gentlemen and distinguished guests, on behalf of the Air Force Museum Foundation, it is my great privilege to stand before you today to honor the individuals whose names are inscribed on the data plate wall of honor here at the National Museum of the United States Air Force. As we've heard earlier, today marks a special occasion as we gather here for the first ceremony since the challenging times of the COVID-19 pandemic. It is a testament to the resilience and the unwavering spirit of the brave men and women who have served in the armed forces throughout our history, and along with the brave and indomitable spirit and the continued generosity of the supporters of the foundation and the museum that we're back here today. So thank you. As we look upon that magnificent wall of honor adorned with the names of those who have dedicated their lives to the ideals of duty, honor, and country, we're reminded of the rich legacy of the United States Air Force. From the heroic aviators of World War II to the valiant individuals serving in the present day, we celebrate the achievements and sacrifices of veterans, volunteers, and families alike. The Air Force, born out of the crucible of the 20th century's conflicts, have consistently demonstrated its commitment to defending our nation's freedom, protecting our skies, and projecting power across the globe. Its wings have carried it to the forefront of innovation and technology, leading the way in aerospace advancement and ensuring our nation's security. Within the ranks of this Air Force, we find individuals who have exemplified the core values that are the very foundation of this remarkable institution. Integrity, service, and excellence are not just buzzwords. They are the guiding principles that have shaped generations of airmen and airwomen. These values, reflected in the names etched upon this hallowed wall, serve as a timeless reminder of the character and dedication that have defined the armed forces throughout its history. Today, we pay tribute to those who have selflessly dedicated themselves to a cause greater than their own. We honor the veterans whose valorous actions on distant battlefields preserved our freedom and protected the country and the lives of countless others. We honor the volunteers who have tirelessly given their time and expertise to support the museum, the foundation, and the entire Air Force community. And we honor the families who have stood steadfastly by their loved ones, offering unwavering support and strength in the face of separation and sacrifice. As we express our gratitude, let us not forget that the Air Force strength lies not only in its cutting-edge technology and formidable aircraft, but also in the heart and soul of every individual who has contributed to its legacy. It is their dedication, it is their resilience, and unwavering commitment that have propelled the Air Force to new heights and forged the bonds that unite its members as one cohesive force. As we come together today to commemorate the Air Force Museum Foundation's data plate Wall of Honor, let us remember the words of General Henry Hap Arnold, one of the founding fathers of the modern Air Force. He once said, "We must think in terms of tomorrow, and in that spirit, let us honor the past. Let us celebrate the present, and let us look towards the future with optimism and determination." And so to the honorees represented on this wall, we extend our deepest gratitude for your selfless service. Your names now serve as a permanent addition to the museum's legacy and a testament to your courage, sacrifice, and unwavering commitment to duty, to service, and to family. Thank you and all those who have served and continue to serve. God bless.
Thank you so much, Dr. Cartier. At this point in the ceremony, we traditionally read the recent names of the added to the Legacy Data Plate, Wall of Honor. However, since we're our last in-person ceremony, we have added 475 plates to the Wall of Honor. Because of the large number of additions, we have something a little extra special for you today. Please enjoy this special video presentation, accompanied by the musical melody performed by Coleman Clark, which is standing behind me, I think. Let me get out of your way, Coleman. Well done, young man. Well done, sir. Well done. Thank you so much for that. At this point in the ceremonies, no, we did that page already. You know, in aircraft maintenance, you know, when you look at TOs, you know, time to redo the renewal. All right, we did the video. Let's rock and roll. All right. I think what we're going to do now is kind of let you guys have some fun outside in a few minutes. So here's what we're going to do. On behalf of the Air Force Museum, thank you for attending the 2023 Legacy Data Plate ceremony. For more information on the Legacy Data Plate program or to view stories of those honored, go to www.legacydataplates.com. We all know that. At the conclusion of the Air Force song, we invite all of our guests to proceed outside to the wall to share stories of those honored and place the flowers on the plates, of their plates. Please exit through the doors at the back of the auditorium and head through the museum store to go outside. A Foundation staff member will be helped to direct you. We hope you have a safe and happy Memorial Day weekend. And as a reminder for those who sacrificed for our freedom, this concludes today's ceremony. Please stand for the singing of the Air Force song by Tech Sergeant Ansley DeWitt.
Please join me. 1, 2, 3. Off we go into the wild blue yonder, climbing high into the sun. Here they come, zooming to meet our thunder. At 'em now, give 'em the gun, give 'em the gun. Down we dive, spouting our flames from under. Off with one hell of a roar. We live in fame, but go down in flames. Nothing can stop the U.S. Air Force.
All right, thank you all again. Don't forget, please exit and pick up the flowers to go outside. We appreciate it. Thank you all for coming out today. Have a great Air Force Day.